Since the beginning of man, we have harvested food from nature or grown our own. This is especially popular in southern Appalachia where we live, and there's a need to store the food in the winter, to keep the food fresh, to be able to enjoy in the colder weather. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to can peppers. This will allow you to eat the peppers later in the year. There's always a big harvest toward the end of summertime, and there's an abundance of food. We needed a way to store food and keep it throughout the winter and enjoy it 2-3 years later in some cases. The things you're going to need to can peppers are fresh garden peppers. I've chosen jalapeno peppers. You can use any type of pepper, banana peppers, habaneros, just a pepper of your choice. You're going to need sugar, vinegar, pickling spice, and water. The recipe that I'm going to give you today will allow you to make approximately 3 pints. The jars that I will be using are half-pint jars. They have seals and ring lids, a funnel to pour the solution in the jar. You have to prepare your peppers any way you would like. You can slice them in rings, cut them in strips, simply can them whole. I would suggest that if you don't like your food real spicy, even though I've chosen jalapeno peppers, you can take the seeds out of the peppers and it will make them just a little milder. That's the easiest way to do this, is to cut them in strips, though you can cut rings and take your knife and circle the pepper, remove the seeds, or even just cut the top off the pepper. Take your knife and twist inside. It'll allow you to empty some of the seeds from the pepper, and that will make it a little milder. Now, anytime that you're dealing with hot peppers, I suggest you wear gloves. I purchased these at AADE. You can get them at any healthcare pharmacy, anything of that nature. I suggest you always wear rubber gloves when dealing with hot peppers. They do have capsaicin, and that is the main ingredient in pepper spray. I don't know if you've ever had pepper spray on your face or hands, but it would be similar to the feeling of getting the pepper seeds or pepper juice on your hands. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix our solution into a pan. We're going to start. We have 2 cups of white vinegar. We also have 1 3/4 cups of sugar. 1 1/2 teaspoons of pickling spice. And 1 cup of water. You'll mix that all in the pan. You'll take a large spoon, stir the mixture, the solution, place it on the oven at a medium-high heat. You're going to want it to come to a fast boil. And once the solution comes to a fast boil, you're going to have your jar ready. You're going to prepare the peppers in any way that you choose, just like we discussed earlier. Ring them, strip them, however you like to prepare them, but add them to the jar. I'm going to add just a few of each, the rings as well as the strips. Now behind me on my stove I have a solution that I'd already prepared to boil. So as I add my peppers, I will step over and grab the solution and demonstrate the pouring of the solution in the jar. Now you're going to want to take care when you pour the solution in the jar not to get the solution on your hands, because it's going to be boiling hot. And if you get it on your hands, it's obviously going to scald or burn you, and that's something that we really don't want. But the solution is off of the oven. You can still see the steam coming off. You're going to want to take care. Use your funnel, put it in your jar, and gently pour the solution into your jar. Like so, all the way to the top. I suggest that you do this over a sink, but I'm doing it right now over the counter because it's the most convenient place for me to do my speech. But fill to the brim with peppers and solution. Now you'll notice the lid of the peppers makes the sound, a clicking sound right now. Once the pepper lid seats, once the vacuum is formed as the jar cools, the lid will lock. As this can that's already been prepared, it has no give, it cannot flex. It is locked into place and sealed. Be careful when tightening your jar, not to over tighten because this is a very hot jar. And if you over tighten, the jar shatters. Not only do you run the risk of getting glass in your hands, you run the risk of a burn once again. So be careful when tightening. But there you have the finished product. You'll be able to enjoy your peppers year round for years to come. Just remember, gather your ingredients. You're going to need pickling spice. You're going to need sugar. You're going to need vinegar. You're going to need water. You're going to need a heat source, a medium-high heat. Some saucepans to mix the ingredients, a funnel to funnel the ingredients into a jar. Always wear your gloves. Prevents burns on your hands from the hot peppers. So always wear your gloves. Be careful when tightening your jar, not to burst your jar and cut yourself. But you have peppers year round to enjoy. Thank you.